Hey, it's your girl Evelyn, and I'm back with another video in my Corporate to Carefree How to Survive Your Day Job While Building Your Daydream series, and you're watching it in a playlist. So if you've missed any of the previous videos or whenever you decide to watch it, just click on this playlist and you can watch all of the videos. So in this video, I want to talk to you about one of the things that is super important to not losing your sanity while you are building your business when you have a day job. And this is one that I don't think a lot of people talk about. This is one I kind of had to discover on my own, but it's really, really important. And it sounds so simple, but I'm telling you, when I did not do this, I was super stressed. And so one, it helps you manage the stress if you do have stress of a day job, or not even if your job is stressful, but just that tension between from where you want to be and where you are at the moment. That in itself can cause stress, right? Like, you're on this job, your job could be wonderful, right? But if you really desire to be a full-time entrepreneur, a full-time business owner, then that in itself can sometimes cause stress. So like I said, in this series, I'm going to be doing videos about how to manage your how to survive your day job, but also how to build your daydream. And this one is kind of a little bit of both, right? It's definitely going to help you to survive your day job until you are ready to leave, and then it's also going to help you build your daydream, right? Your ideal business. And so one of the biggest things I can tell you, and I've kind of broken it down into 3 tips, but the overarching theme is do something every day. You have to do something every day. I found that when I got to the point where my job was too demanding or life was too demanding and I couldn't at least do something on my business every day, I became stressed. I started to feel trapped. I started to feel like I didn't have any options, like I didn't have anywhere to go, like, was this ever going to happen for me? You know, why wasn't it moving fast enough? And all this fear and anxiety started coming. And a lot of people don't talk about that because maybe not everybody experiences that. But I know I did. There was a lot of fear and anxiety. Like, am I doing the right thing? Will I ever get out of here? Will I ever succeed as an entrepreneur, as a business owner? Like, is this the right time? Like, all of these questions. And the reality is, the antidote to fear is not courage. It's action, right? Like, I realized that when I took action every single day, that fear and that trapped feeling became less and less and less. So I'm going to give you a couple of tips about taking action every day. My first tip is you need to plan out 3 things that you want to do every day, right? Just 3, because if you write this super long to-do list, and listen, Lord knows I love a to-do list, but if you write out a super long to-do list and then you don't get it all done, you can become discouraged and you can be right back in that crazy spiral. And so what I realized when I sat down at the beginning of the week, like on a Sunday evening or whenever the day was before my work week started, and I kind of just said, here's all the things I want to get done this week. How can I break these into 3 tasks a day so that if nothing else, I got 3 tasks done, right? And I'm not talking about major tasks that have a whole bunch of subtasks in them, because that's the same thing as writing a super long to-do list. You can't put on there like build my website in a day, right? You could be like, I'm going to call a graphic designer. I'm going to and get their prices. I'm going to buy my URL, and I'm going to pick my brand colors. Progress. Right? You could, the next day, what are another 3 things? Follow up with graphic designers. List out the pages that I want on my website. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, they're right, but you're making progress every day. And that little bit of progress, I know we hear it all the time. I know it's so cliche. I know it's so like, girl, I know, but I know. Okay, I get it. It's because it's true though, right? Like, that little bit adds up every day. So that's my first tip, is just 3 things a day. If you happen to get in a 4th and 5th one, girl, yes, do all of the things, but don't start with 6 things on your to-do list and then only do 3, because that will defeat the purpose of feeling accomplished, right? Okay, so that's my first tip. My second tip is don't fall into the illusion of waiting until you have a large amount of times. And I can tell you this because I've done it, where I was like, well, you know what? I just want to be able to sit down for like 5 hours and map out blah, 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 blah. I just want to be able to sit down and schedule my social media content out for the rest of the year, right? Well, the reality is, particularly if you're still working your full-time job, you may not have these large blocks of time. Or even if you have large blocks of time, the things that you're probably trying to put in there take way longer than the block of time that you have. And so what I found myself doing was not doing things in what I call the pockets of the day, where I had 10 minutes here, 30 minutes here, an hour here, 5 minutes here, standing in line, taking a break, on my lunch break, right? Like I found myself not utilizing those pockets of time. And then when I finally, for the last time, was on my last job, and I was like, that's it. I'm leaving. I'm done. I'm not coming back. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I was utilizing those pockets of time like, whoa. I remember listening to, I think it was a podcast or a class that I took from Courtney Sanders of Think and Grow Chic. And one of the things she said was like, listen, if you're standing in line in the grocery store, instead of scrolling through your social media, could you be listing out what your services are going to be, or what your website pages are going to be, or who you need to contact, or if you had an idea for a blog post and 3 points, or for a podcast, or for a video, like in those pockets of time in the day where we take for granted and we fill them with things that are not getting us closer to our goals. So how do we fill the pockets of time with things that will get us closer to our goals, right? So that is my second tip, which is don't necessarily wait till you have large amounts of time to feel like you can only do work then. You can get a lot done in the crevices of your day. And here's my third and final tip on doing something every day, like a really practical tip, which is, and girl, I know you're gonna feel me on this one, is extending your work day, right? So let's say you work a job and you work 7 to 4 or 8 to 5, right? So I would say, number one, take a snack with you, and then don't go straight home if you don't have to. Because what I have found, or it's been my experience and a lot of my friends' experiences, once you get home, your mind will start thinking of all the other things that you need to be doing instead of doing the thing that's moving you closer to your goals. All of a sudden, you're going to want to rearrange your refrigerator and purge your closet and clean the gutters and plant a patio garden and paint and build scope. Like your mind will do the absolute most to keep you from where you want it to be, particularly if it's a place that's unfamiliar and you've never been there before, right? And so one of the things I learned in the last time that I left a job and I was like, that's it, was when I left work, I needed to go and work somewhere. So when I got up in the morning, I had my work bag for my job, and then I had my work bag for my business, and I kept it in the car, you know what I'm saying, or in the trunk or whatever. And then I would go to a coffee shop or to the office in my apartment complex or somewhere with a snack, or I would stop and pick up a snack. And even if I just worked for 2 hours, right? So let's say I got off at 4:30. Even if I just worked there till 6:30, I still was coming home, having dinner, and having the rest of the evening to myself. But I viewed it like this. You know, when you've worn heels and you've been walking around in them and your feet hurt and you want to take your shoes off, but you know you're going to have to walk in them again. And you know, girl, tell me if you feel me. You know, if you take that shoe off, putting it back on is not an option. Putting it back on is not an option. It's the same thing when being able to get something done every day, right? That if you go home, the likelihood of you getting back up and going back out, or getting back up and doing more work, decreases substantially. Not saying you won't do it. Not saying it's impossible. I have put heels back on after leaving a concert and been in the car and then had to walk up 3 flights of stairs. But it felt more painful and it was more exhausting, and I was like, I don't want to. It's the same thing. So anyway, like I said, if you want to feel like you're making progress, if you want to actually make progress and you want to kind of get rid of fear and anxiety and stress and feeling trapped, make sure you do something every day. And you guys, go into more detail and stuff like this in the Corporate to Carefree ebook workbook, How to Survive Your Day Job While Building Your Daydream. It's kind of broken into 2 sections, which is things that you need to be doing and how to actually do them to survive your day job. Keep your sanity, make sure you're still being a great employee, but then also some things that you need to be doing in the meantime to build your company, your business. So make sure you follow me all over the web at chefevelyn.com. The link to the ebook / workbook is in the description box if you want to go ahead and get yourself a copy. I'm so excited to share with you. Like I said, I've been holding on to it for a while. And like I said, follow me all over the web at Chef Evelyn if you'd like to see kind of what my new day job is, which is my business, which is Chef Evelyn. And I'll see you in my next video. Peace.